Hello. Um, Welcome to the leadership class. My name's Carla, and Carla Stebbins. I'm going to be the instructor for this class this year. Was last year too. I'm also the program director for the Health Systems Administration program. So if you have any questions about the program over the term, feel free to reach out to me. Be happy to chat with you. So I came home to record this video so that you'd have a nice backdrop, and was looking for better lighting. So as usual, just wish I had a real production crew to, because it's brutal to have to sit here and look at myself while I'm talking to you. But hey, whatever. So I wanted to welcome you to the class and just give you kind of a brief overview of what to expect this term. First off, I'm going to just go ahead and do an introduction myself now instead of putting it in the introduction, just to save time. So again, my name's Carla, and I was born and raised in the state of Iowa and moved here. It'll be 2 years in November. So I've accepted the job here at RIT, and that's what precipitated the move. So I've had a really nice time living in the Rochester area, and have really enjoyed working at RIT and with the program. So anyhow, born and raised. So I have an undergraduate degree in business with a major in marketing. I have a master's in healthcare administration, just like this. And I have a PhD in education and policy studies. So I finished my PhD in 2005, and is that right? Yeah. Yes. And I started directing a health systems program in 2004. Have been doing that since. I worked at a program prior to this, and was able to take an existing program through a specialized accreditation with an organization referred to as CAMI. It's the Council on, I always get this messed up, Council on Accreditation for Health Care Management, I think is what it stands for. I know that's awful. I should know that. But anyhow, so the goal is to take this program through that same level of accreditation, or that specialized accreditation that will, we think, is going to elevate this program above others that are available in the central or western side of the state. Anyhow, so that's the plan, and that's what I'm working on. So what else? I teach in the areas of marketing, obviously, leadership, management, communication. Those are kind of my big areas that I enjoy working in. I've done a lot of study of and research related to it, so that's usually kind of where I stay. Let's see. I have 2 kids. I'm married. I have 2 kids. My husband's name is Tom. I'll refer to him every once in a while, just because I can't help it. And I have 2 kids. One's 22. He is a finance major at RIT, and I have a daughter that is going to be a senior this year. So, and I have a dog. His name is JJ. He's a Labradoodle. So, and I live in the Rochester area. I do trainings for some outside organizations. I'm also a fellow in with CAMI, so I go out and do site visits, accreditation site visits at different schools. This fall, I'm going to the University of Montreal, so I'm very pumped about that. Other than their website is completely in French, so I'm a little concerned about that because I do not speak French. So anyhow, it's probably more information that you want to know. So let me just tell you about this class. So I taught this class last year, and I used the textbook that the prior instructor used, and I read the entire thing, and it was an awful textbook. It made the topic of leadership entirely boring, and it was brutal to read. So this last year I've been looking for a good textbook, mostly to provide a framework for the course. So I knew I was going to pull in outside information. So I wanted something that wasn't too big, but provided a nice framework for what we're going to attempt to go through. So anyhow, I've just read another textbook this summer, and I really liked it. So I hope you do too. I think it's easy to read. It's not too long. He's very systematic in how he presents information each chapter. So once you get kind of used to his flow, you can kind of go through it, I think, quicker. It's a very research based. So it's not anecdotal. It's not based on his opinions. It's based on research that's out there. So I appreciate that. And he really does try to present it in a very practical way. 'Cause the topic of leadership can get just very philosophical and theoretical. And I don't think that that's bad. I think it's good for us to sit and think about what is leadership, what is good leadership. But unless we have the ability to apply it to ourselves and have it shape us as future leaders, then I question what's the point of learning it. So I think Northhouse and I are on the same page. He doesn't know me, but and I have noticed that quite a few programs use this book. It is not a healthcare specific book, so we will be pulling in healthcare examples whenever possible, and then of course, since your experiences in healthcare or your interests in healthcare, we'll be applying it to those settings as much as we can. So anyhow, I just briefly have had a curiosity about leadership most of my adult life. Right out of college, my undergrad degree, I started working for an organization in Iowa. It was a retail store that I worked for. Is kind of an upscale women's retail store. And I just learned some incredible things about how to manage people and really affect change and achieve goals. I worked for them for about 5 years, right out of my undergraduate degree. And this is on top of, I've worked pretty much my whole life. So I've been in management positions even before my undergrad degree. So then I earned this bachelor's degree. I wouldn't say that I didn't learn anything, but I'm sure I did. But then once I got into this retail company, I learned a ton. So after I left retail and started working in higher education, I just had this idea that I was going to learn some incredible stuff because everybody that I was working with had letters behind their name, like as long as the alphabet. I mean, they PhD and fellows in this and certified in that. And so I thought, well, these are highly educated people. I'm going to learn a ton from them. Believe it or not, I was kind of let down. So I started making the connection that the more education you have, the less you really know about leadership, which obviously is not my goal because I really do want this degree program to support you in your development as a leader. So anyhow, I set out on trying to really understand leadership from the perspective of teaching it. So, and beyond just teaching it, but facilitating your learning and your growth as leaders, because I believe that's what all of you are attempting to do. So because of that, in my master's program and when I was working on my doctoral degree, I really took a lot of initiative to study leadership, and I've been teaching it since 1999, early 2000. I've been teaching leadership content and have been working to create a course. And I think I've developed something that is going to be, I'm hoping, really good. So though I believe it's going to be incredibly ambitious. So just stay in touch with me and let me know if I'm killing you, because that's certainly not the goal. But it is going to be rather intense. So each week you'll be reading chapters out of the textbook. It ranges from 1 chapter to 3. And that, again, will provide you kind of your theoretical perspective on leadership. And of course, the garbage man has to go by right now, so that's what that loud noise is. But anywho, so you'll be reading out of the textbook. As you read out of the textbook, I will be asking you to apply what you're learning in the textbook to a real life situation as often as I can. Because I believe that's best how you learn is, learn something and then think and apply it to a situation, and then you can kind of decide, do you believe that that's true, or do you think that that's not true? So, so that's the first part of each course, and each week. Each week has 3 parts. The first part is the theory. The second part is pulling in a lot of additional content about areas, knowledge, skills, and abilities and behaviors of leaders. And so providing you training on how do you manage conflict, how do you manage change, how do you accept and give good feedback, so various different topics that that I have found over my career. You have to understand how to do this, and you have to figure out how to do it well. So I've pulled that in. Most of it's supported by either articles, though I was trying hard not to add more reading because I just didn't want to fry your eyes with too much reading. So I went out and tried to find videos to support it. And then you'll see in the course that I kind of will write, I'm calling lectures. So I just write them in there. I don't record them. I'm writing content so that you can read it. It's very, very, very brief. And then I link you to a number of videos here and there. And then I'll ask you to participate in some additional exercises. And then the final part of each course is reflection. And those are called weekly reflections. And this is the piece of each week where I am going to really work with you to try to to reflect and make meaning of the content, and to apply it to your own career, identify strengths related to it, areas for future development, and then even identifying some goals or tasks that you can do to further develop yourself in those particular areas. So it is going to be a very full course. And trust me, if it's not enough, just let me know, because I have 2 other areas I would just love to add. One would be some content on effective communication, and the other would be on is a new area I've been looking into is resiliency. So if you don't think that there's enough in this class, just let me know, and I would be happy to add more. So anyhow, it's going to be an ambitious term. At the end of each week, I plan to record summary videos, or summative videos of kind of what I've observed and what I saw over the week, and kind of redirect and add to, and whatever we want to do. So I'll be reading your content very intently, and trying to pull some kind of summative observations from that. So quickly, I just want to give you some insight into me. So I'm very passionate about this subject, obviously. I am just hell-bent to make sure that I really can support your future development on this. I come across as a very flexible, easygoing person, and I want to be, because I want you to email, call, text, whatever, if you have any questions or concerns. But do not confuse that with my rigor. I will be pushing you or pulling you to learn and to grow in this class. This is not a class that there's no tests, no quizzes, no big papers that you'll be writing. It's all about your personal and professional development as a leader, and how you can learn and grow yourself and support the learning and growing and development of your peers. So I will be working with each of you to really pull out the best that we can from this course. So I try to be gentle, but then I also try to I don't like the word push, but to really give you areas where I think you could continue to grow. I do that in the spirit of trying to help you get the most out of this course and out of this program. Not that I'm the expert about it. You're the expert about you. You're the expert about your setting in healthcare in the area that you work in or desire to work in. So I'm just going to try to encourage all of us to grow through this experience. So anyhow, welcome to the class. I'm really pumped and excited for this and hope that it's going to be a great term. Stay in touch with me if anything comes up or if you get confused. I think the entire course makes sense, but I'm just one person with one perspective. So if something doesn't make sense, please reach out to me. The sooner the better. And I will be happy to help in any way, shape, or form. So anyhow, welcome, and it's going to be a fun term, I hope. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.